My name is David Moorfield. I'm a freelance DP, and we have an uncommon 3 days of consecutive work for 3 different clients. So Friday was studio work, Saturday was corporate. Both of those vlogs are up, and today is an award show. So I arrived to a fully rigged gimbal setup with Canon R5C, transmitters, and a whole bunch of gear because this event is being live streamed. So you may recognize Ruth. She was in a past video as a PA, and now she is an integral part to this live stream. Now, how did we get this job? Well, I've had a lot of people ask me out for coffee and because of directly watching this vlog. So many so that I said, why don't we just all meet at the same time, and we'll call it the Orlando Filmmaker Breakfast. So we had one meeting, had 5 people the first time. The next month, we had a second meeting, had 8 people, and there has been a bunch of jobs being thrown around this table and people being hired. So one of them was this one. Veepal, who is a local production company owner, needed some crew members, so he hired myself to be the gimbal op. He hired Ruth to do the live stream, and Emmanuel to my left is an AC and a fantastic one at that. So we have about an hour and a half to get these testimonials before they open the doors and the show begins. I'm holding the gimbal. We have for audio the Rode Wireless Go on the talent, and Emmanuel is actually feeding the questions in. He is handling that and holding a light tube to give some fill on the face all at the same time. So our main issue here is getting quality audio because it is such a loud room. For event coverage, there's always a schedule of events, but it's on you as the DP to find the creativity in these shots. So I saw that there was people eating outside, moving into the meeting space. So why don't we get a cool shot and place some importance on that transition? So these shots came out great. We got a couple of them, and then it moved into the live stream. So you can see the small HD monitor on top that has the built-in Teradek system. Beautiful monitor, huge. And surprisingly, I actually didn't use it that much. Because the LCD of the camera was at eye level, I actually found myself just more comfortably holding that eye line rather than looking at the very top of the gimbal. It's partially obstructed by the handle anyways. For low shots, it's perfect. But for the majority of the time, I was actually looking at that little 2.5-inch screen on the Canon R5C. And I really do like how the gimbal is powering the camera because the R5C battery life is so poor. It would have been a nightmare, especially in a live situation, to switch out batteries. Now, we did have to switch out batteries a couple times, so that just consisted of pulling off the handle on the ring and then putting a new one in and repowering everything back on. I don't remember the brand of headset, but this one was super clear, very easy to use. You flip up the mic when you're not in use, flip it down when you want to talk. And as far as being the gimbal op, I was in charge of essentially creating the shot. So when I would see someone coming up for their award, quickly rush over to them, frame it, and we trusted in the R5C's autofocus, and I would say for 90% of the time it delivered, which is a lot to ask for in these very low light conditions with harsh beaming lights. There's projections all over the wall. Surprisingly, it did pretty well. I wouldn't trust my C70 to do this well, but it seemed like the R5C is a little bit better. Even though they both do not have dual pixel autofocus 2. They're both on the first gen. So here we are walking backwards, and this is the one thing that was difficult is the shadow that just raked across her. So I had to deal with that the entire night, trying to figure out positioning and maybe letting them go first or staying off at an angle. Unfortunately, the lighting was kind of low, and most of the time they would switch off of me before that shadow came across, and they would go back to the tight or the wide of the stage. But this is what it was, 2.5, 3 hours live stream. I thought I was gonna have to switch off the gimbal because my arms were gonna get tired. It wasn't too bad. My arms are tired the day after when I'm recording this voiceover, but as far as gimbal setups go for live streams, this actually is extremely light, which, you know, give some respect for the people who are doing these. And you can see here I weighted back so the shadow did not come across. And I know they've gone off of me. I can see the screen in the back and they're on a different angle. So back and forth, back and forth. Eventually I got my flow down and I was just experimenting with different angles. See, going up the stage, going in the corner, but still trying to play within the frequency limitations of the transmitters. Also, they were talking about a football game and they had a screen over here. So I would actually pan over because it was part of the story of the event. If the host is mentioning it, that means the viewer is aware of it. So there should theoretically be a shot of it. So listening and being involved with the production is extremely important. There's a lot of times where they mention someone in the crowd. Now, I have no clue who that is, but I look at who everybody else is looking at, and I grab a shot of them for the live stream. So Emmanuel's doing a quick battery change. He was actually taking notice of the battery percentage level. I missed that, and he saw I was getting low, tapped me on the shoulder, said, let's do a change. We cleared it with the live stream. They said, yep, it's fine for you to turn the camera off right now and do the switch. And it was just a great team effort. And it all came from this vlog, essentially. This is the starting point. And who would have thought, but it is creating jobs for me and the people I know and the people that I don't even know yet. So just had a really good conversation after hours with Ruth. It's just crazy the circles that you guys can operate in and you don't know how close they are, and anybody can help anybody, and it can be mutual. It's not me just trying to help somebody else. They can help you, and it's just good. Networking is good. So real quick before I go to bed, this is from the corporate shoot that I mentioned in the beginning of the vlog. So this project, he was in a panel discussion and I'm taking all of his speaking portions, putting time code on it, starting at 00, goes to about 10 minutes, and I will send this to them. They will tell me which sound bites they would like. I'll take those time code pieces in and out and export, in and out, export. And then in CapCut, I will most likely do the captions. Last week, another video professional told me to reach out to a production company in the area, so I scheduled a call and just had a phone call with them, and we both found out how we can help each other out. Our phone call was designed to see if I can help contract for them, but within the call, I am telling them, hey, I have a networking monthly meetup. I'd love for you guys to join. Also, feel free to call me, not just for a DP role, but if you guys need a PA, a sound guy, a gaffer, I have a network that I can access. So I'm trying to keep that two-way street to be mutual, right? It's not just them calling me to give me money. I can also provide value. And that will go a long way in how they view you and how you guys can work together. Packing for an art of documentary shoot in 2 days, and I'm really thinking about letting the C70 go. Oops, that should have a body cap on it. Because I'm going to be doing a lot of 2-camera shoots, and I think it might be better to have an FX3 that matches codec, color, and log from this camera. So that means I need to get rid of all these EF lenses. I will only be keeping the Sigma 24-70 EF and the 150 to 600 EF. And then I'll be selling the C70, 2 cages, 3 batteries, chargers, RF to EF adapters with polarizers. It's a full cinema kit. And then I'll take that and get an FX3, which I think is the right choice. Getting everything ready for the documentary shoot coming up, and I have a weird feeling where I'm like, I need to charge more things. And no, I don't. It's just these batteries. Oops. And then I just sold my LPE6 batteries and chargers, so that is taken care of. That's the only batteries that I need for this camera system. For my Rode lavalier kit, lavs, I actually use rechargeable batteries from Anyloop, and they are fantastic. I've had them for a year, maybe 2 years, and I just recharge them every single time, and I have backups. And these are big and clunky, but they do a great job. So if you've noticed over the course of the last few videos, the furniture has been getting nicer in my place. The interior design has been stepping up, and that's because my girlfriend is moving in tomorrow. So it'll definitely be a life change, little switch up, but I'm enjoying my breaks on the balcony a lot more. I've got some furniture out here, having my coffee, doing business calls, doing emails, makes the admin process a lot more fun. Speaking about admin, I need to take this advice as well, but as soon as you get home from a shoot, it really is best practice to take the memory cards out and put them on the hard drive before you forget, before you have to go to another shoot. It can get extremely terrifying when you're on a shoot and you're running out of space and you're not quite sure if you've backed up the footage. I officially gave my word to that company that I will not be sending in my application for the staff job. I just like freelancing way too much. Case in point, I just got a chicken tender sub from Publix. I'm at the lake right now. It's Tuesday, and I just don't want to give up that freedom.